Okay, I'd like to open the Commissioners' meeting number 21, Thursday, June 1st, 2023. Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, we went to an event last night and we left Carol there. We forgot to bring Carol home, so
Just
she
say
won't
she's
be here
absent.
tonight.
You just say she's
So
absent.
Nancy told me to make sure that I made that announcement at the beginning of
She's
the meeting.
absent.
She had a big bottle of, what's that, Basil Hayden in front of her?
Hazel Hayden,
I am going to mute you too.
Hazel Hayden. That reminds me, you know what, how many people watch Everybody Loves Raymond reruns all the time? My wife, that's the only thing she turns on the TV is Everyone Loves Raymond. And, you know, I forgot how funny it was. I really didn't watch it when it was on, but, you know, now it's like our relaxing that comes on. And so last night we were saying, you know, the big guy that's the cop, what's his name? Robert, he's saying that they're talking about Raymond trying to get his kids to go to sleep. They wouldn't go to sleep. And he goes, well, you should just do what my mom did. She just gave me a little bit of sugar water and it put me right to sleep. I never had any problems. And the old man, you know, he's the funniest one of the bunch, is that old guy, you know. And the old man says, yeah, a little Zambuca never fails to put the kid to sleep. And then Robert goes, that was just sugar water. What's Zambuca? That's what put you to sleep. And he goes, you gave me alcohol? And then the whole movie was like, you gave me alcohol? And I was only a few months old? And he says, yeah, it did the trick. And, you know, it didn't stunt your growth, did it? And, you know, it was just, but anyway, I digress. I regress. All right. Well, no, actually, Carol is in Philadelphia, and she had an event with her family to attend, and that's where she's at today. So Anthony and I are flying solo.
Right.
We've been left alone.
Now
So,
we can play hooky.
yeah, so we're like Raymond and Robert, left alone now.
Exactly.
Okay, I'd like to open the meeting if there's any public comments. Does anybody who'd like to say anything, we ask them up to the podium. Bella, would you like to come up and say anything? Come on, just come up and tell us a little bit about what's going on. Okay, all right.
Public comment.
There you go.
Hi, Commissioners. My name is Shane McMillan. I'm Vice President of Economic Development at the Youngstown Warren Regional Chamber. Was asked to come share some information about a program that the state is rolling out. The timing is great. They actually just rolled out additional information for it yesterday. So the program is called Site Ohio, Wave 5. And what it is a nationally recognized authentication program for industrial sites. So we're encouraging those in Mahoning County who may be aware of 30 contiguous developable acres to please reach out to my office. You can find us on regionalchamber.com. I'm also going to leave some information behind if anybody wants to take some details. But the importance of the authentication site program really is it gives the state of Ohio a vetted interest in the sites that we get authenticated. So we do due diligence on the utilities, some of the environmentals, the configuration of the site. And if we are so lucky, we'll be able to have 2 site selectors that are procured by the state of Ohio come look at these sites and do an analysis, give you a highest and best use a description of your property. Typically, that type of attention to a property is estimated to be about $30,000 for these specific site selectors. They've done site selection for Mercedes-Benz, Caterpillar, just to name a couple companies that are in their portfolio. So we're eager to get their attention here in Mahoning County and get some sites on their radar in the States. One small factoid is Sites that are authenticated receive 300% increase in submissions from the state itself. They have consultants in Asia and Europe. So when meeting with clients interested in the Midwest, these sites would be the top of their radar. They'd be the ones that they'd want to present to their clients overseas when companies are interested in investing domestically. So we're very excited about this program being rolled out for a fifth wave and eager to get some sites submitted.
Nice. That's what we talked about at the last meeting. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So it's free. If you sign up, they'll assess 30 acres or more. They'll assess the value of your property for whatever usage they recommend it's best suited for and put you in their list of files that people go through when they're looking, because so many times they come into the county or into the valley and say, I need 50 acres, what spots are available? And you may have they have a master list that they can pull out, say there's 50 spots that have 50 acres. And then they just narrow it down. What has electric, what has water, what has sewer, what has this, that, what has road access, and for their use, and just keep drilling down to the point where they handle a handful of them that they pass out, and maybe Anthony's is one, or, and they're able to look at, where best fits their needs. And how about why don't you tell us a little bit about the mega projects or the ones that are, how many that we have on the drawing board just this year that have been asked?
Yes, sir.
Or just identify what they are, because that's interesting for people to see.
So we've in responding to leads this year, we're well over 40. In an average year, we get just south of 70 leads. If we continue at the rate we're at, we're going to break that record. We'll have more leads and interest in properties in Northeast Ohio than we've had in the last decade. But what's interesting to Commissioner Ditzler's point is we've had 10 leads that are looking for mega sites. And a mega site is defined to be north of 500 acres, something that can support $1 billion of capital investment or support 1,000 jobs on the site. We've had 11 this year. Last year we had 7. Years prior, we were lucky if we had 1 inquiry for a mega site project. And there are really no mega sites, across the country. So companies are aggressively looking, specifically in the Midwest, for these large, contiguous, developable plots of land to invest in. And the industries that they're in are emerging, green, electric vehicle, semiconductor, renewable energy manufacturing. So actually making the panels or producing hydrogen. So it's really unique to see these emerging industries grow and see what type of projects are available for communities to win. And we're optimistic that we can work towards getting a mega site.
Nice.
Maybe winning one.
Yeah, excellent.
Do
Thank
they
you.
exist, Shane?
We have one mega site in our market, and it is owned by the Port Authority, and they've done a hell of a job putting it out there and working with interested parties. The 700 acres just north of Mahoning County in Warren. It was the old RG Steel site. It's the only mega site in Northeast Ohio that is arguably shovel ready. So we're very optimistic that will go to productive use again, and which would be a great benefit to our counties.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Maybe you don't know, I don't know. The blimp factory up in Warren, what did they ever do with that building?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
It's huge. I don't know. Somebody took it over or not, but television company wanted it a few years ago, Element TV. And because of politics, it fell through, but I'm not going to get into the minutia of the details. But that company actually ended up going to South Carolina, where their governor gave them everything that they wanted. And now there's over 2,500 employees, and it could have been in Trumbull in that factory. True story.
Oh, and the next one.
Yep.
I'll tell
If you were
you,
there, we would have got it.
Maybe, I don't know.
the old RG Steel, I passed it every day on my way to work, when I was at Thomas Steel. And they made an amazing product there. I mean, they were one of the very few integrated mills that made high carbon and unique and very technical products out of that facility. And they were making profits the whole time. And then, at a time when they were able to sell out and, reclaim the steel and just dismantle it, it was, sad to see going back and forth, but RG Steel, it's foreign owned, so anyway, things happen. But, and I used to say this all the time that, in the 70s when I worked at Youngstown Sheet and Tube, today, there's only 3 integrated mills left in the United States. And in the 70s, when I worked at Youngstown Sheet and Tube, there were 5 integrated mills right along the Mahoning River in the valley. Today there's only 3 in the United States. So it's a good thing. Whatever kind of conflict we get into will be done by drones, and we don't have to build ships or tanks or things to that nature, because we sure don't have the steel making capability to be on that side of the track. So, Shay, thank you. We appreciate the update. It's always interesting to hear the things that are going on. You and the chamber do an excellent job. We really appreciate your hard work.
Thank you. We appreciate your partnership and thanks for having me.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to approval of previous minutes of board meeting number 20, Thursday, May the 20th, 2023, and approval of bills for payment. Do I have a motion?
So moved?
Second, roll call.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Journal entries.
Motion to approve journal entry number 1.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Okay, agreements, engineers. Rick,
Good morning.
morning.
A is an agreement with TSI Western Star for repairs to our vehicle number 534 in the estimated amount of $590.94. B is an agreement with Ohio Machinery, DBA Northern Ohio Peterbilt for repairs to our vehicle number 75. That's in the estimated amount of $1,093.85. And C is an agreement with Field International Trucks for repairs to our vehicle number 52. The estimated amount of $7,191.59. It's all non-general.
Okay, thanks, Rick. JJC,
Good morning.
morning.
This is an agreement with Morningstar Cleaning Services for cleaning services in the amount of $27,600 general fund.
Okay, thank you. Lead-based.
Good morning, Commissioners. E is an agreement with the City of Youngstown. They're going to put a roof on 2430 Logan Avenue with CDBG funds for us at a project that we had previously done as a collaboration. F is a rescission of a contract that was awarded to PGS Construction for lead and healthy homes work at 152 Manchester, previously journal entry 2303-019.
Okay, thank you, Phil. Prosecutors.
Good morning, Commissioners. It's an agreement with West Publishing Corporation for Clear ProFlex software for 5 years in the amount of $7,110.36 for the first year, and that's not general.
Okay, thank you. Sanitary.
Good morning,
Erica.
Commissioners.
Morning.
Letter H is an agreement with Canfield Fence for emergency repairs at various pump stations in the estimated amount of $4,000, and that's non-general funding. Letter I is an agreement with Youngstown Fence, Inc. for the installation of a gooseneck stand and LiftMaster keypad proxy reader combination for the plant gate at the Boardman wastewater treatment plant, and that's in the estimated amount of $3,457.50, and that's also non-general funds.
Okay, thanks, Erica.
Welcome.
All right, motion to approve agreements.
Motion to approve agreements A through I.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Okay, change orders, purchasing. Jim, would you like to do that one?
I will.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. This is change order number one with Vulcan for unseen removal of insulation from the roof deck at Bev Road, the former Masco building, an amount of $51,406.60. The original drawings, the building's 45 years old, did not show how the insulation was attached to the deck. And this required us to do the change order. We had different independent consultants review their decision to make sure this change order was necessary, and they all concurred that it was necessary. As of yesterday, got an update, the building should almost be done by tomorrow, except for some of the steel moldings they have to put around the building. But we're on our way, almost having that building fully done so they could begin occupying however you want it to be.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate that.
Sure.
Motion to approve change orders.
Motion to approve change orders 3A.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner Trafficante.
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler.
Yes. Okay, road closings, engineers.
Letter A is that we close Northwest Boulevard between State Route 46 and Raccoon Road, beginning June 26, 2023, for approximately 180 days, and it's per the request of Dominion Energy.
Are you kidding? That's terrible.
Through the summer.
Oh. Okay, motion to approve road closings.
You don't have your cut through no more.
Yeah, I can't scoot down Norquest.
Yeah. Motion to approve road closings 4A.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner Trafficante.
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler.
Yes. Okay, resolution of awards, sanitary. Erica.
Letter A is the award of the Midlothian Glenwood area sanitary sewer rehabilitation. This is department improvement number 540 with United Survey Inc. in the amount of $792,147. This is a combination of non-general sewer operating funds and OPWC grant in the amount of 54% of the bid, and this was the low bidder.
Okay, thank you. Sheriff's Department.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is
Morning.
the award for the food service for inmates of the Mahoning County Jail to Trinity Services Group Incorporated, effective May 1st, 2023, for 2 years, with the option to renew for 2 additional years per unit pricing based on inmate population, non-general and the only bid.
Wow, okay, thank you. Motion to approve resolution of awards.
Motion to approve resolution of awards A and B.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner Trafficante.
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler.
Yes. Okay, Commissioners, OMB.
Commissioners, this is a resolution approving the memorandum of understanding with the following townships and county engineer for the allocation of road and infrastructure sales tax projects in the amounts as follows. Boardman Township, $1,420,450.35. For Poland Township, $44,158.60. And this is part of the road tax program.
Yeah, amazing. I think Pat said 7.5 million this year going into the roads and the infrastructure just this year from that. So, you know, it's something that's never been done in Mahoning County before and, you know, desperately needed. And it's sad that the gas tax that is put on us from the state doesn't allocate funds equitably to be able to provide the road repaving that's necessary, and that the residents had to vote for a sales tax to do it on their own. But, you know, we are, and it is definitely going to be a benefit, and, you know, it's good to see it start in full swing. Okay, continuum of care, OMB grants. Anna?
No, this
Oh,
Colleen.
Colleen there? Oh, there she is. Hi, Colleen.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is a resolution to amend Resolution 2209-029 to change the FY22 HMIS expansion grant 25% local in-kind match to a local cash match in the amount of $18,750.
Okay, thank you, Colleen. EMA.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is a resolution to promote an intern we have to what would be a more reasonable position here as a specialist. Adam Guerreri has been helping us with the updating of our computer databases, as well as our radio communications and other technical things having to do with the mobile command post. Again, this would be more applicable to what he's currently doing, and we'd like to bring him on board on that basis.
Excellent. He's been there since we were passing out COVID supplies.
Well,
He's been around.
That's actually part of it. He's done a lot of that, volunteer type work, and we brought him on as an intern a few months ago, and we'd like to get him on as a specialist now.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you. Okay, engineers.
Letter D is a resolution to reject the only bid received on May 17, 2023. Record of bids, resolution 23-05-031 for Mahoning County Road 18-6. Letter E is a resolution of necessity to purchase 2 fabric shelters for Shanahan Structures through the Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Contract in the amount of $54,464.
All right, thank you, Rick. JJC.
This is a resolution to accept and approve the grant application with the State of Ohio Department of Youth Services for the tentative Reclaim FY 2024 allocations for programs in the amount of $1,573,644.96 with no match required.
Thank you, Carl. Jobs and Family.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Audrey, Nancy, and Jim. Letter G, Job and Family Service Resolution approving the Mahoning County Title 20 County Profile of the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services for the program period of October 1st, 2023 through September 30th, 2024. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Audrey. Prosecutors, OMB grants.
H is a resolution in support of the grant applications with the State of Ohio Attorney General for the Victims of Crime VOCA Act in the amount of $127,000 and $267 in the State Victims Assistance Act, or SVAA, in the amount of $10,856. I is a resolution in support of the grant application to the Ohio Criminal Justice Services for the Violence Against Women Act, or VAWA award, in the amount of $60,000 with a cash match of $20,000.
Excellent. Thank you, Paul. And Sheriff's Department.
J, resolution approving the moral obligation payment of $2,828.46 to Deputy John Medvick III for an invoice error pertaining to his attendance at the police academy. K, resolution of necessity to purchase one 2023 Chrysler Pacifica touring van from Kufleitner Chrysler in the estimated amount of $43,714. And L, a resolution in support of the application to the Ohio Office of Criminal Justice Services for the FY 2023 Edward Byrne JAG grant in the amount of $105,000 with a 25% local match.
Okay, thank you. All right, a motion to approve resolutions.
Motion to approve resolutions, letters A through L.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner Trafficante,
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler.
Yes. So that was relatively painless, huh?
Yes. Very good.
Any comments or from the department heads, electeds? Anyone would like to speak? Audrey, anything to say so I don't forget you?
No, this time I gave you what we had, and then our Elder Abuse Awareness Day luncheon is coming up under Chris Shipman. that she normally does for the elderly. It'll be at First Presbyterian Church. And as always, Job and Family Services are looking out for our seniors, and we will be honoring them that particular day. And that
Yeah,
is,
she does a great job. You guys do. Thank you.
okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Audrey?
No, I'm glad for the chamber and some of the things that they've got going to bring economic development within the valley, and some of the tools and the partnerships they have with the state, the county, and other partners within the valley. And it's good to see you guys. It's nice to see the working relationship with everybody and even with the commissioner's office and the updates you bring. I really appreciate that. You didn't talk about the new other funding that you're also getting regards to, we talked about earlier that you got from the state.
The workforce coalition?
Yes.
You want me? Sure. So the Governor's Office of Appalachia announced last year the $500 million that was going to go towards Appalachian counties. We partnered with workforce development organizations originally in Trumbull, Mahoning, and Columbiana County to put in a $275,000 ask for technical assistance and training dollars. We were awarded it, and then they liked the project so much they asked us to lump in Ashtabula County. So it is really going to be a Lake to River initiative focusing on our workforce development ecosystem. So we're currently working with a consultant group named Kleinfelder, who is putting together a scope of work and an action plan for us. The goal is to submit a plan to the Governor's Office of Appalachia by the end of this year, and hopefully move forward with implementation dollars. And why that's so important is it would be monies that go towards all of our workforce development organizations, from higher ed to the career pathway efforts, and those nonprofits like Flying High that are getting people into good jobs and filling that workforce gap.
Excellent. Yeah, the 500 million, fortunately, it didn't get clawed back because those are ARPA funds that was provided to the state of Ohio from the federal government. And, when they're playing their games with the debt ceiling, with the rest of our lives, unfortunately, they didn't claw back that portion of the money, but it's not over yet. And I don't trust any of them. So, it could
But it's
be,
allocated towards your guys, so I think you should be fine.
yeah, until the Senate starts, slicing and dicing. They said it doesn't impact local and state government yet, but then there's always that, there was the Trump tax bill cut that won't impact government. And then we lose $3 or $4 million a year on our bonds and stuff that come through. And, that was a inadvertent casualty. They'll correct that. Well, it hasn't been corrected in 6 years. So anyway, thank you. Good stuff. Appreciate it, Shay. Any more? Good. Anthony.
Yeah.
You're looking mighty. I like that color. That's
Thank
like
you.
turquoise, right?
Yeah.
Turquoise. I like that.
And it's a
See, you're getting-
2X.
I was going to
Not
say,
a 4.
you're getting slimmer and trimmer. That's why you're wearing
I'm
it.
getting in shape.
I'm telling you.
I'm gonna even be better.
I'm telling you. You know what? Did you see that picture I posted of 10 years ago when you and I
Yes.
did the groundbreaking at the Racino? It was 10 years ago this month, May. And you were twice as big as you are now.
I have pants. It's sad out here.
Yeah.
I was a 56 waist. Now I'm a 46.
Nice.
46. 40 more to go, and then I'll be good.
You have to be careful. You get to a point where, it doesn't look good. Even
Yeah.
though you may feel better.
Exactly.
You gotta, but you look great now. You're doing good.
I appreciate you as well. Something I wanted to say, Dave got them numbers down right, with respect to the debt ceiling and the clawbacks. When I worked in Washington, I was down there for 11 years with Jim Trafficant. And it's funny that, and no disrespect to any of the congressmen, they don't read 90% of what's in front of them. The Republicans get an RSG and the Democrats get a DSG, Democratic Study Group, Republican Study Group. They get pamphlets that have what's in the bill, like bullet points. So the member will sit there and they'll just read that, but all the details are done in the committees. And that's where the workhorse is of legislation. So it's those folks, the attorneys, the PhDs that sit in the committees, they come up and they try to put together what everybody's wish is. Then they send out dear colleague letters to each member. Well, would you support this if we put this in? It is such a cluster down there, honest to God. You could spend a year on one bill. And I remember when they passed the Crime Control Act of 1994, it was this big. And because every state, every county, every district wanted something out of it. So when you see all this going on, it's just really the bullet points. And then they bring the CBO in to justify the numbers and put them in place. And Audrey could easily take over the CBO down in Washington. She should be the head of that. And that's how it works. But all this detailed stuff, usually what happens is they go ahead and they throw it out there and they pass it. And then we deal with it. And then whatever faults or wrongs or inconsistencies that are in there, then the counties like us and the townships and the states find fault in it. Then it goes back for review. You know, you have rules committee, you have to get a discharge petition and get all this stuff out. And when you have two houses divided trying to get all these little things done, because the public doesn't know all that unless you work down there. Because I've met many of these committee people and they're very bright, they're very smart, but it's not what you think it is. So when they're talking all these numbers and these clawbacks, like Dave said, it's far from over. And then when the Senate gets into it, I hope McConnell fixes his glasses. He's looking at that. It could be a whole nother thing because it has to go to committee and both houses have to agree. And then it goes back out. So it's long, laborious. And that's what they do down there. But it's the committees, it's the staffers that do 90% of the work. And that's no disrespect to any of the congressmen. They try their best, but you got people calling you from the district. You got to go speak at a school. You got to go to a luncheon down at the Democrat Club or whatever you are in DC. And they got all that. So it's impossible for your congressman to read all that stuff. No, that's my 10 cents.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Another good reason, just do away with it all.
Yep.
Well, you know, it's always interesting because, you know, we're given X amount of dollars to the county, you know, through the ARPA funds, and we're given X amount of years to allocate it. And you can't be frivolous and do things quickly. You have to map it out. And we've been very responsible in how we've passed it out and methodical on how we filtered it and distributed it. And, you know, so there's still monies left, even though there's a lot of discussion and a lot of intent on what to do with it between broadband, our MyORAS projects, our sanitary sewer expansions, upgrades, you know, and a lot of it that's on the drawing board that would be allocated in due time. And now all of a sudden you're calling everybody saying, hey, the debt ceiling bill's got a clawback. We may lose everything left on the table. You know, what can we throw it at quickly and allocate it tomorrow or do this or do that, you know, which is not really in good faith and doing it properly. But now all of a sudden, would you rather spend the X amount of million you have left on something rather than handing it back? You know, so they put you in a precarious situation by doing the things they do. And, you know, we have to react to it. Unfortunately, at this point in time, you know, we don't have to react to it. But, you know, as Anthony explained, that, you know, today's, you know, firm belief that the 500 million isn't getting clawed back from the state and that the 40 million isn't getting clawed back from Mahoning County, you know, but, you know, tomorrow when the final writing comes out from the Senate, you know, you could see it totally change. So, and a lot of times they play that game. They don't want somebody spending it very quickly. So you're safe. And then you relax, boom, gone. You know, so, you know, and that's what they've done to us with funding from Mahoning Avenue. Oh, 5.7 million. Remember, we were awarded. Oh, you know what? It went to the Senate. They forgot to put it in the bill. They forgot to put it in the bill. How'd that happen? That's what the bill was, but never, but, the clawback. I just, when I read the paper last week, I just had to shake my head. Al Catrona proposing no sales tax on guns and ammunition. And 5 years ago, they eliminated the sales tax to fund the sheriff's department. They clawed back the MCO funds that were sales tax dollars and gave a reprieve to the medical companies, the Medicaid and the private industry Medicare medical companies from paying sales tax. And that directly was the revenue stream of the sheriff's department. $2.5 million a year. They've taken $11 million from the sheriff from sales tax. And now we're a constitutional carry. Nobody needs a permit to buy a gun or to carry a gun. That's made it more unsafe for the police officers, as they've told us time and time again. They've taken $11 million out of the revenue stream of sales tax. The only political entity that I'm aware of that has defunded a revenue stream in Mahoning County is the state legislature of Ohio. And now they want to take and eliminate sales tax on people who buy guns and ammunition. Have you ever gone out to buy, ammunition for your target practice or something that you were worried about paying the sales tax on? And would that entice you to go buy tons more ammunition? Oh, I can save sales tax on it. Mm-hmm. So, it's almost, if it wasn't so sad, it would be comical. Because here we go, they should take a better look at what impacts the health, safety, and welfare of Mahoning County residents. Because we're last 50 out of 50 states of children's services and how we take care of our children. See how interested the paper is? That's how interested the paper is about how we lose funding for things that are important. We are 50th out of 50 states on how we fund children's services in statewide to take care of children that are being abused and in need. 50th out of 50. And you know what? Their budget this year doubled what they paid years back. And we're still 50th. Yep. We're still 50th. And, it's just, what we're first in, though, maybe the state legislature can take credit for this, infant mortality. We're first in that, right? On how many of our children die. We're number one in Mahoning County there, but there's no bill being written in the state legislature to help kids. There's no bills being made. And now in the clawback, they're raising the age on SSI or Social Security from 48 to 54, so there again, the people that have the most needs and are in the worst shape are the ones that are impacted the most. We just take, and that, I'm telling you, that 1% to the rest of us grows, exponentially every year. And, pretty soon we'll be a third world country. There'll be the rich and the poor, and those are the countries that have civil wars, that have unrest, and, we're quickly becoming that. So anyway, that's my soapbox, and I'll stop there, but, okay. Well, Carol will be back next week and we'll be at full strength again, but me and Anthony, we're carrying the load today. Hi, Anthony.
We got it.
So, all right, with that, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Commissioner Trafficante.
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler.
Yes.
Next meeting.
Our next meeting. When's our next meeting?
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Board.
No, right here, same place, same station, June the 8th. All right.